as I say every single Monday morning, tis a vibe. What is up, nerds? It's me, your buddy pal, Hey Archer. Welcome back to Nerdy Coffee here on Nerd Affiliated. I am shot. I'm beat. And it's got to be a quick show. Schedule got all thrown out of whack today, so we're going to fly through the topics today. But theme song is still going to play out. That's still going to happen. Hopefully by now you at least have yourself a nice cup of brew. Maybe you're on cup number 2. Maybe you're a madman. You're on cup number 3. I'm starting off with number 1. And it just feels so good. It feels so right. This is your Monday morning show where we sit back, relax, talk about the news, talk about everything that happened last week, and see what's to come this week. Actually, I didn't even look to see what movies are coming out this week. I'm pretty sure there's something. Is Oppenheimer this week? No, Mission Impossible's this week. Pretty sure Mission Impossible's this week. So let me know if you're down for that. Let me know if you're down for Oppenheimer. It's been like a meme to see Oppenheimer and Barbie in the same week. So who knows? Maybe those movies rule the summer off of just memes. If you got yourself a YouTube channel, podcast, a blog, a vlog, an OnlyFans, newsletter, smoke signals, whatever it may be, put it in the chat. Support one another. Plug yo shit. And I see the chat's already blowing up, so I'm guessing I might be the only loser who has to work today. Hopefully you guys have the day off today and tomorrow. And shout out to America. Yeah. Look at that. I got Anthony's picture still up there, but he's not here today. Let's see. Where's the... Boom. All right. I'll say hi to everybody first. Let's scroll up to the top. Yeah, you guys are loaded in today. If you're not first, then you're last. There you go. Yukon Phil in the house. Good to see ya. Rolando, good to see ya. T3 in the house. Good to see ya. JB, got that brew going. General Kenobi. Mulatto, Vanguard in the house. Look at that. Mission Impossible 7/12, so that's next week. Did I have that down? Oh, I did have that down as next week, 7/12. There's got to be something this week, no? Is Barbie this week? Look at that. Everybody's saying hi to each other. Rolando's on it like an animal. Yeah, that dude does not sleep. Rolando does not sleep. Lenny in the house. Good to see you. Dave's Dimension. He's at work already. Look at that. Dave is doing the Lord's work over there. So this week we have Insidious, The Red Door, and Joyride. So we'll see. Any of you guys interested in those movies? I feel like I didn't even know Insidious was still going. I'm not even lying. I thought Insidious was already done. But alas, it's still going. Patrick in the house. Aaron Waller in the house. Wow, look at that. You guys are at it this morning. That is impressive. I like that. All right. So, we will talk about last week's releases briefly, and Indiana Jones will save for box office. But the two things last week, again, people not really talking about it: Strange New Worlds, Secret Invasion. Now, Strange New Worlds, somebody. This is in the group chat with the other affiliates, was asking about Strange New Worlds, and I was like, yeah, it's still a good watch. But Secret Invasion this week was better than last week. Let me know if you guys are watching Secret Invasion. This week was better than last week, but I don't think we're at a point yet where you have to watch it every week, which actually may be a good thing. And that goes for both shows, actually. Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Secret Invasion, not required watch from week to week. So, if you get a chance to watch them, by all means. Otherwise, I think you can. I think you might be able to skip it. And with that, we're gonna, like I said, we're flying today. What to watch? Actually, JB says Secret Invasion was good this week. Yeah, it was definitely better It was better. T3 gives it an A+. Man, you are merciful on some of these shows. You are merciful. Actually, I forgot to get one thing up. Let's see. What is that thing called? Oh, it's with. Let's see. Here we go. Letty said waiting like 4 weeks on Secret Invasion. Yeah. I mean, entertaining. I mean, I like, but the thing is, I don't have Secret Invasion like going. Like, I sit down, I'm working on something for the channel. Secret Invasion's on TV. Pause, go to work, come back, continue. I'm hoping that it continues to pick up though, because that's kind of what's going on. Like, it's kind of like picking up speed. So I hope that continues. But I've already had some issues with the show. I wrote down some notes in case we do like a full-on review. Patrick says, I'm on Secret Invasion being better this week, but only slightly. Yeah. All right, so for this week, we already talked about the movies that are dropping, but we have My Adventures with Superman. The cartoon is dropping on Adult Swim, and I'm not going to lie, I'm interested in this. Very interested in this. While it looks more kid-based, which we can always use, more kid shows and all that. By the way, drop a like if you guys are watching. I didn't even hit the plugs. Drop a like, hit a subscribe, holla at your boy. So while it looks a little cartoony, it's on Adult Swim. So I'm very intrigued here. I don't think we need another Harley Quinn type show. Like, I don't think we need to go that far in the, humor and the rude but crude jokes. But I think a nice medium could exist. Something that's jokey, kind of campy, but serious when it needs to be. I think the show can do that. So being that it's Adult Swim and you'll be able to watch it on HBO Max, I'm pretty intrigued there. T3 says, I love Marvel, and I'll say when it's crap or when it's shit. Secret Invasion is like Captain America: Winter Soldier to me. Yeah, so that's actually what I wanted out of the show. Hang on, one more swig here. Sorry, I forgot to mute. I wanted Winter Soldier. A lot of us kind of wanted it. And yeah, you're only in the first cup. So we're in agreement there. I like the espionage part. Like I said, I've written down a bunch of notes, so I can do a whole thing on it so far. I just think that this show is an example of Marvel pumping out too much content and doing a lot of reuse and cutting corners for the sake of, we got to get this thing out. And I feel like this might be the last case of that. I do kind of feel like this one feels different. So I think this show may end up being the last case of that, like, rush job. Sorry, puberty. Might be the last case of the rush job going on. So we'll see. We will see. But like I said, the only things coming up that I'm like really, really excited for are Mission Impossible. That's probably the only thing. Oh, and this weekend I started John Wick. I started John Wick 4 and I stopped.
Boo! Boo! Rubbish! Filth! Slime! Muck! Boo! Boo! Boo!
I had to stop. I don't know. I was telling it to the boys, and we might do a whole video on it. But in the year 2023, in the year of our Lord Vin Diesel 2023, I think I'm over the whole, like, bulletproof everything as a means of getting through fight scenes. Like, John Wick had already started in... Did he have that full suit in part 1? I feel like part 1 he took more damage, but this, like, the full suits, like, people just, like, holding up their jackets and blocking stuff happened in John Wick. We saw it in The Flash just now. We saw it on The Mandalorian. Like, I'm kind of getting tired of it. Like, people we gotta like ease up on this. If I just wear some fabrics that are bulletproof, I'm good. Like, I don't know. It's becoming a bit much. T3 says Mission Impossible was good, but it's got some Fast 9 over the top bullshit, and it needs to be cut down by 20 minutes. I believe that. I can believe that. I'm jealous. You have to see a lot of movies before I do, or before most of us. I'm very jealous. Granted, I didn't see John Wick 4. Oh, you were talking about my take. Yeah. It's like cheat codes. Exactly. It's very much like cheat codes, and it's, I don't know. It's taking the fun out of it. And then even in this movie, John Wick, like the beginning is like straight action. Like they kind of start out of the gate, just straight action. And I'm like, I don't know. At a certain point, I was like, what are we even doing here? I don't know. I'll give it a shot at a different point. But yeah, I was not digging John Wick. All right. It sucks to even say that. All right. We are moving into nerd news. If I was on a thought process and forgot, I apologize. I apologize for that. All right. So, first up, this is a throwback here. Now, I consider The Punisher, the 2004 Thomas Jane Punisher movie, I consider this on the list of movies that are underrated / movies that don't get mentioned when we talk about good superhero movies. And I'm going to leave a link to this in the description. Good interview. Thomas Jane, what I liked here, he says he doesn't like the whole spandex, superpower, superhero movies. That's not his thing. But because of that, he was trying to make it a more edgy movie, a more pushing the boundaries movie. He read the Punisher comic books, so he knew what he was going for. But he got a lot of pushback with that. And I don't want to spoil, the rest of his thoughts on that. But probably the most interesting thing about this interview that answers a question that we all thought about when this came out is here in the intro. They do like a little teaser thing. I'm going to play that for you guys.
Spells the difference between whether you get a good movie or a bad movie, So when you say, yeah, okay, we got John Travolta to play.
I also love that he's just chilling, smoking a blunt, doing this interview.
Bad guy. Oh, but he wants to shoot in Florida. Then you have a decision to make as a director. You're like, all right,
yeah.
Does this movie, set in Florida? My answer, no.
So, right there. And sorry, I didn't have my sound thing on, my sound meter to make sure.
Then you have.
It looks like the sound came through. Super, super interesting. I remember when that movie came out, a lot of us thought it was weird. It was shot in Florida. And I kind of like grazed over it, but it was kind of, it felt like I didn't feel like I was in anywhere dangerous in the movie. And I think that is in fault. I mean, it's funny because Florida, but a different kind of dangerous, like no Florida man here. I'm afraid I'm going to be attacked by alligators versus, New York City. I'm going to be attacked by like, robbers and crackheads and all sorts of stuff. Things that people that Punisher would fight. It just felt different. And the only thing about this movie I thought that was Punisher was at the end when he has the vest and he has the Punisher logo. Otherwise, it was just like a revenge movie, but still a good movie. So wild that John Travolta is the reason this was not shot in New York City. I did not think he'd have that much power, even back then. But sure enough, John Travolta had his way. So definitely check out the interview. In case I forget, I'm just going to put it in the link here. I don't know if you guys are able to click on it later, but I'll throw it in there just so we have it. And we will proceed. We have our... Oh, sorry. Trying to move this over. We have our new Superman and Lois. James Gunn confirmed this on Twitter and Instagram. David Korsensweet and Rachel Brosnahan. I don't know. But they are set to play Clark and Lois in the upcoming DC reboot. Honestly, I feel like this was a headline for mere seconds, and then it vanished. And I'm going to blame The Flash on this one. I think people just kind of, after seeing that movie, I know I really enjoyed the movie. I know most of the world hated the movie. Everybody in the world hates Ezra Miller. I think there's so much kind of against, damn puberty. There's so much against DC right now that this news did nothing for anybody. Sorry about that. So, interesting. I'm not going to pass judgment until we see some footage, see some teasers, any of that stuff. But I don't know. I feel like DC now, I mean, look at this. Let's go. Right now, if we go to the DC YouTube channel, they're posting clips of old movies, Batman Forever. We'll talk about that, actually, by coincidence. Doom Patrol, comics, Birds of Prey, one Flash video there, another Flash podcast there, Man of Steel. So they've really got nothing going on over at DC. Music from the Flash, like they're not. It's like they've ran out of steam. They really ran out of steam here, and this Superman news, while I appreciate the fact that it's somebody not super popular, I almost wish it was. I almost wish it was somebody popular just to get us excited again. Like, oh man, I can kind of get an idea what to expect and all that. So we'll see. We will see. Dave says, great value Walmart Superman. Yeah. But, I learned to stop passing judgment, not to be that guy. I learned to stop passing judgment when we got Ben Affleck Daredevil. Because while the movie's trash, I think everybody kind of agrees it's not a great movie. Not the worst superhero movie, but not a great movie. Ben Affleck did well as Daredevil, whatever version of Daredevil that he was playing. And since then, I was like, all right, we got to see the movie to really judge it. That was the nail. Actually, I won't use that analogy. I think the final confirmation that you couldn't judge was Heath Ledger as Joker. That was announced. People went crazy. What are you doing? This is stupid. One of the best performances ever. So I'm at the point now where I got to see it first. I'm not going to just be unless it's an actor I hate. But if it's somebody who I'm like, either I don't know them or they're passable, if I don't see them in the role, I got to wait to see the footage because they obviously saw something to say I'm going to cast this person. I mean, hell, look at Chris Pratt as Super Mario. We were kind of Chris Pratted out, and yet they pulled a W on that one. So we have that. In my lifetime, I've seen 3 Superman reboots. My children would think I lived 150 years. Yeah. DC's fire has never been reignited. It's hard to get hype for the potential letdown. Yeah. And I think, the Suicide Squad had a good chance at getting us hyped again because that actually was a good movie, but the predecessor was so terrible, people skipped it. And then Peacemaker, I mean, talk about out of nowhere success. Peacemaker was so good. But then you bury that TV show with Wonder Woman 84. You bury it with the 4.5 hour Batman or Justice League movie. In a way, you bury it with the Batman. Like all these other movies came out that smothered the vibe of that, like the James Gunn vibe of Peacemaker and the Suicide Squad. and it just didn't help. It just didn't help at all. He looks like Cavill's little brother, yeah. Anthony in the house. Good to see you. Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong. Somebody had to pick like a list of their pictures. And yeah, he definitely seems that way. Everybody saying hi to Anthony. Great. Excellent. All right. Couple things over here. First of all, we officially started our newest series. It is a road to New York Comic Con. We are cosplaying as Ghostbusters. So make sure you follow that series here on Nerd Affiliated. Episode 1 or chapter 1, I unboxed my Proton Pack. Episode 2, I'm going to be changing out the electronics, the lights on that, and then we'll go from there. I'm actually not sure if Anthony's going to record any of his stuff because Anthony, cat doing the cat stuff. Anthony will also be cosplaying. So if he records any of his stuff, we'll put out a video. But it's going to be fun. New York Comic Con is always a good time. All right, we're going back to Batman Forever. Apparently, there's a Schumacher cut, and it is confirmed. It is confirmed. I will say shout out to Epic Film Guys. I am jealous that they get to go to so many premieres. Just like T3, you get to go to all these early access movies and premieres and stuff. But Epic Film Guys got a chance to go to Schmoody Castle. I didn't even know Kevin Smith had his own movie theater. I assume it's in Jersey because both parties here, I believe, live in Jersey. Got to go to the theater and see the Schumacher cut. What was wild here, one, I thought Kevin Smith was lying when he said he had a version of it, but he does. Number 2, Kevin Smith's still rocking jean shorts and the blazer. You know, we're just going to keep doing our Kevin Smith thing. 3, for some odd reason, Kevin Smith did this viewing at like 2 or 3 in the morning or something like that. So my man said he left the theater at sunrise. He's like, I legit walked out. The sun was like in my eyes. I was exhausted. I don't know why. I don't know why he did that. But, you know, Kevin Smith did his thing. He had a bunch of journalists there, a bunch of influencers in the nerd space there. And he told them, he was like, listen, I'm trusting you with this. Don't screen record. Don't take pictures. Don't do any of that stuff. Just sit down, relax, and enjoy it. I would have passed the fuck out. 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning start time, I would have passed out. But, you know, they showed it. Apparently, from my understanding, and Epic Film Guys are going to review it on their podcast. Apparently, they are working on editing this movie. So the version they saw was not the final version. It's a working version. So it looks like we're going to get an official release on it. And all signs point to Val Kilmer doing a better job than we all originally saw. So we'll see. We will see. Patrick's in on the series. Anthony says he does plan to record. I'm so mad I didn't get an alert about this cut. Yeah. Yeah, Schmoody Castle. It's in Red Bank, Jersey. All right, yeah. Right. Yeah. I don't think they knew. It sounds like, from reading the comments, it doesn't sound like they knew it was going to be like that kind of screening. They just, I think, showed up, and then by the time they got it going and Kevin Smith did his presentation, it was, 2, 3 in the morning. So, yeah. I don't know. All right. We'll end up with a couple toy things before we head to box office. First thing, Super 7 dropped another hint as to what's coming down the pipe in their Thundercats line. We knew it was Cats Lair. They teased the logo at first, and they teased the head, and now they tease the inside main control room for lack of a better name. And that is a Super 7 Ultimate size lino sitting at the helm there. I don't know what they're doing. Yes, to JB's point, it is gigantic. Listen, I don't know the numbers, right? I don't know the numbers. I don't run a toy company. Anytime I speculate on toy stuff, it's strictly from a consumer perspective / I work in retail perspective. It's usually where my line of thinking comes. Something like this, being the... Sorry, I was just checking. I didn't get. Someone flagged. We got a copyright claim. Oh, it's on an old episode. That's random. I thought that podcast hit us with a copyright claim. I was like, "Are you serious? We just gave you some promo and you hit us with a claim." It was. I love this. I love when we get copyright claims for videos that are like 3 years old. It's on we watched the trailer to Why the Last Man. Anyway, nobody watched the show, even though it's a great comic book. Anyway, so that's usually where my perspective comes from. It comes from those two angles: consumer / retail business thought. We have had so many crowdfunds over the last 2 years, 3 years. I'm about to show you another one after this. Super 7 did well with their Thunder Tank. It was crowdfunded. It was like $400 something. A lot of people bought it. They made extra so they could, sell it. Actually, you know what? Let me pull that up. $450 for the Thunder Tank. And you can buy it now. So the one thing I will give them credit to is with Super 7, they have their crowdfund stuff, their pre-order stuff. Once it's released, once they make the figures or whatever and they release them, they make extras so you can still buy it after the fact. So I appreciate that. But the Thunder Tank is still in stock. If this was a wild seller, I would assume it'd be sold out. I actually wanted this thing. I have some of the Thundercat line. Actually, at the moment, I only have, I think, one figure on display, just Lino. Before I had a whole bunch more. But this thing's massive. This thing is absolutely massive. And does it have the dimensions? Yeah, 17 inches by 27. So the only reason I ended up not buying it was, one, I was like, $450 for the tank is quite a bit. Thinking now, like the Proton Pack, you get so much more for $450, but it's just a tank. And two, I'm like, I have nowhere to put this thing. So now I go back to this and I think, if I'm Super 7, who do I think is buying this thing, right? So we're at that scale. The vehicle alone was 27 inches long. The vehicle goes into the Cat's Lair. Maybe it's just going to park outside with this version, but in the series, it goes into Cat's Lair, I think under the paw. This thing, to fit multiple figures, maybe fit the tank, I'm going to shoot my shot here. I'm going to say 3.5 feet tall. It's got to be 3.5, maybe 4 feet tall. Wide, it's probably going to be more. We're going to go 4 feet wide. I'm guessing, this is all speculation here. That's because that figure there that you're seeing on screen is about 7, 8 inch scale figure, or not scale, but 7 or 8 inch figure. So I'm thinking this thing's like 4 feet by 5 feet. General Kenobi here saying $2,000 for that. Do I think it's gonna be that much? No, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised. So going back to them in the boardroom or the toy room, however they have their layout, I'm like, who's buying this and how many do I really think I'm going to sell? Honestly, I think you may get more sales from flippers. people buying it who are like, oh, I think down the road people may try to get this thing on the aftermarket. But where would somebody put this? And am I willing to bet they have the room to have this and other crowd funds in their room? Because best believe whoever's buying this, they've probably backed a HasLab or two. May have backed some Mattel Creations stuff. Hell, backed you with your Thunder Tank. So I don't know where this thing's going to go. Who's going to be able to have it? Maybe their thought is like, hey, best case, maybe we sell like 100 of these things. And that's a success. Who knows? But this is wild. This is absolutely wild. I would love to see it in person. I hope to see it in person someday. I hope it gets made. But I hope that something like this doesn't destroy the company. Like if it's an absolute failure. I really don't. And going on to the next one. Oh, yeah, that's right. R.I.P. Alan Arkin. I did not say that at the top. I forgot. I apologize. My favorite role of his was here in The Rocketeer. Did I not do... Oh, yeah, here it is. So the other crowdfund I was going to talk about, the Jurassic Park, I'm going to say retro scale figures. Like this, these are what, like 3-inch, 2-inch figures maybe? $250. And let me tell you something. $250 does not give you everything you see here in the photo, right? They want 5,000 people to spend $250. Tier 1, just for unlocking this thing, you get the gate and you get the Ford Explorer. That's it. Imagine backing this thing. And somebody else did a video a while back where they were like, the crowdfunds, they should just give you all the unlocks. And then the extras are things that are like not seen yet. But think about it. Think about if enough people back this that you hit 5,000, you do not hit 6,000, and all you get is the Explorer and the gate. And that's it. Crazy to me. 6,000 gives you Tim here. Where is it? The electrocuted version. Oh, sorry, the electrocuted version. Tier 3 gets you the T-Rex. And that's a Lost World T-Rex. Like, I mean, I don't know if there's much of a difference, but you're giving me the first movie stuff with a second movie T-Rex, whatever. And then finally, if they get to 10,000 backers, you get Lex and the leg. Insanity. Absolutely insanity to me. So, I don't know. I think these companies are getting too crazy with their crowdfunding. They are not, you know, I don't know who's making these decisions. Mattel just had a fail with the Nitro, the WCW Nitro stage. This one's probably going to fail, I'm guessing. Yeah, this is very similar to the Rancor when they were like, oh, get us to this tier and you'll get the bones. Kidding me? So we have three active crowdfunds amongst 3 different companies right now. Mattel's Jurassic Park, Super 7's Cats Lair is going to be coming. Actually, no, that's not active yet. So we have 2. So we have the Cats Lair coming down the pipe shortly, and then we have the HasLab G.I. Joe copter, which did back. So that one did back. But I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing here? So, I don't know. It's crazy in these streets. I love how in my thing here, I was exaggerating, and yet it's like all this stuff is true. It's like all of it is true. All right. We've come to our favorite part, box office recap. Indiana Jones dropped last week.
Boo!
I'm eating my words here.
Boo!
This thing opened up at $60 million. So I'm going to go to the sheet real quick. And now 60 million, right, is not it's not game changing. It's not, oh man, this is such a great, this is going to get Disney to be like, hey, you know what? People still love this franchise. It's not doing all of that, but it's not the bomb I thought it would be. So actually, let me update my release date here. I did not have that. Opened up at 4,600, and we have 60 million. All right. So let's go to where we are on the year. Where do I have? Here we go. Indiana Jones. There we go. All right. So, Dr. Jones, there is. He's kind of like dead center on the year, kind of this summer. Beat Creed 3. He beat The Flash. Beat Shazam. Beat Dungeons and Dragons. I mean, better than I thought. A lot better than I thought. After seeing the first day, I think Friday he was at like 24 million or so. I thought there's a chance this would beat out Fast and Furious and John Wick, but still, 60's impressive. There were a lot of people in the older demographics that went to go see this movie, from my understanding. Only 70 million international. So it definitely pulled more people here domestically than I thought. But overall, the franchise is done. This is a wrap. Lenny actually did see it. Word of mouth should help the movie, I think. I will disagree. I'm going to disagree on that one. Hang on, I'll get back to you. My bet is the Jurassic Park gate doesn't fund. Yeah, it's not going to fund. And I'm glad it's a decent opening. I forgot Dungeons and Dragons existed. Yeah, it's not a bad movie. Critics killed it, but I haven't seen any fans dislike it. Yeah, so I see what you're saying on this one, but I don't think it has the power to overcome the critics. I thought Flash had a chance. I was wrong. This one definitely does not have a chance. I don't think as the weeks go on, people are going to say, all right, Mission Impossible is sold out. For some reason, Barbie is sold out. I'm going to go see Indiana Jones over Oppenheimer. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't understand. Like I said, Oppenheimer has this big meme push going on right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if Oppenheimer, what are we going to predict here? Oppenheimer, I don't think the kids are actually going to go see it the way that they're talking about it. I'm going Oppenheimer opens. I'm going to give you, because Nolan would buy tickets to boost numbers. I'll give you high end 70. Nah. Oh, man, that's tough. No. Oppenheimer, I don't think it's going to bomb. I think Oppenheimer meets Indiana Jones. Oppenheimer, 60 million. I don't think it's going to do anything internationally. So I think domestic, we get another 60 million, maybe 50 million. I just don't see it. I don't see it. But what's crazy, going back to the, work thing, and Lenny probably knows because Lenny works in similar industry. The youth really fuck with Christopher Nolan. They really fucks with Christopher Nolan. So, like, going into the Flash conversation, I was talking to one of the kids at work, and I say kids, he's an adult technically, but younger than me. He's like telling me how he's doing a whole setup in his house for like better surround sound and stuff. And I was like, you guys are going to watch The Dark Knight like 50 million times on that sound system. And he's like, we've watched The Dark Knight like 30 times this year already. Like, they legit do watch parties for this thing. And he's not the first person to tell me that, and not even in the same group as other people who have told me that. Like, the younger crowds really love Christopher Nolan. I don't get it to that extent, but they love that man, and I think they can pull a Minions on this, where it becomes like a meme joke to go see Oppenheimer. But I think when the day finally comes, I don't think they're all going to show out. And I don't think they're going to show out for Barbie either. Because that's the other joke. Like, going from Oppenheimer going into Barbie, or other way around. I don't think it's going to happen. Lenny says that's a fair open for Oppenheimer. Yeah. What was my final number? 50? Oh, no, I said high end, it's 60. High end, it's 60, but probably more like 50. I'll watch the replay, and I'll write it down. No hype from me for that. I feel like they just love Batman, though. No, it's not even. Not even. Oh, I see what you're saying. I thought you meant Batman the character, not the movie. Inception, Interstellar are movies people talk about, but I don't know if they do. I'm telling you, man. Multiple youth have told me Interstellar is one of their favorite movies. Don't get it. I don't get it. It's a freaking Back to the Future thing. It's, you guys didn't like it, but trust me, your kids will love it. Same with the prequels to Star Wars. And apparently it's the same way with Christopher Nolan. But we'll see. We'll see how Dr. Jones does. I predict next weekend, this movie's done. Most movies do not increase week over week, in case you don't know. I think the only movie that did for a couple weeks was Super Mario, but usually after you're open, you're done. And mind you, keep this in mind. I don't know about the rest of the country, but I know two things are currently happening. Three things. Across the country, it is for some people, 4 or 5 day weekend. So it's a long weekend for most of the country. In Texas, they're going through the wildest heat wave right now. So people probably said, F it, I'm going to save some energy, like electrical energy. I'm going to go to the movies. So that contributed to this number. And here in the Northeast, we had rain Saturday, Sunday. Friday, I think, was nice. Saturday, Sunday, straight up rain. People were just like, screw it, I'm going to go to the movie theater. I actually drove past the theater that the parking lot was full. So, those contributed to the 60. If not for those things, I imagine other people were like, hey, it's a long weekend. I can only entertain my kids for so long. Let's go to the theaters. I think if not for those things, that movie would have done way worse. Spider-Man still pulling in 11. Elemental holding strong. Another strong week at 11. Man, this movie's, look at that. NorCal's 111. There you go. Yeah, Elemental is holding out. It is holding out. Look at this. Oh, wow. Look at that. All right. So I eat my words there. Another movie that did better. No. Those are year-to-date numbers. Sorry. No. 5, 6, drop. Okay, so it's still dropping. But Elemental's still going strong. Still going strong somehow. So people went to the theaters this past weekend. And, I don't think it's going to happen again. Not 2 weeks in a row. yeah, Flash dropped hard and Guardians dropped to 10. So James Gunn even made a tweet about that. So it's been a good run. Guardians performed a lot better than I thought. A lot better. But at the same time, it was a stronger movie than I thought. Cool. All right. It is my time to shine. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for being here. As I mentioned earlier, hit that thumbs up if you've not done so. Feel free to subscribe. Feel free to join the Nerd Foundation for 99 cents a month. Help me help you make dope content and build out this Proton Pack and keep the lights on and keep Sal off the streets. Nerdy Coffee every Monday morning here at 9 a.m. on Nerd Affiliate, 9 a.m.-ish here on Nerd Affiliated. Hey Archer Live, yes, you're stuck with me 2 times a week. Hey Archer Live every Thursday, 8:15-ish p.m. here on Nerd Affiliated. Actually, this week's show might shift. I'll get back to you on that. Happy 4th, everybody. I hope that even if you are working today, it's a chill day, and I hope you at least have the day off tomorrow. I hope you live a better life than I do and you have the day off on the 4th of July. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll talk to all you nerds in the next video. Do not see Indiana Jones. Don't give them any more money. Peace.